Have you guys ever seen this gold and silver demo sprite right here for Politoed? It looks a heck of a lot like Bellibolt over here, doesn't it? We got a lot to talk about, including leaks, rumors, and much, much more, so let's dive in. I remember going way back into the kind of the leak and hype cycle of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There was some comments made from Eclipse and others indicating that they were actually going to be utilizing and reusing some of these inspirational ideas that came from the gold and silver demo and that kind of stuff. And it seems as though, again, like I said, Bellibolt may be at least somewhat inspired by the original Politoed design, which you have Dr. Lava giving us some insight on. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But kind of going into the leak realm of things here, Soul Silver makes a really interesting post. I think this is very important, okay? Listen, we know we've got two main leakers, right? We've got Riddler Coup, which provides riddles and sometimes information. And then you've got Kaka, who's been relatively solid for the last couple weeks. But they were someone who provided a ton of leaks, including images of Farigiraf, as well as the gym leaders, and much, much more. So there's been a lot of things that have slipped through the cracks, more so this leak cycle than ever before. But it seems that there's a trailer leaker as well on 4chan, as they have accurately detailed out 4 trailers prior to their release. And it's not that these were gone back and edited. These are apparently legit. In fact, I remember personally seeing one of them the night before a trailer and it ending coming up in fruition. So clearly we have a trailer leaker as well. And for those who don't follow this kind of stuff, it is very likely, as we are about a month away from the game, that this game is going to be leaking really anytime soon. I would say don't look for it until probably the beginning of November, but by like November 7th through the 10th, there's all the chance in the world that the actual copies are out there and people are playing the game and posting all sorts of stuff. And it is going to be wild. I mean, guys, I've been doing this since X and Y, really, and it happens every single year. So prepare yourselves, because it's about to go down. From my perspective, though, I have to be a little bit more careful, because they do take that kind of stuff down off the internet. So we're going to have videos that are a little bit ambiguous in that context. From today's trailer, the secondary part of kind of revealing the gym leader, IONOS, and of course, Bellibolt, there was some really cool scenes that came from the gym battle itself, and this really cool city type scene. One of those had a couple different billboards of someone walking, and then you've got this billboard of Brassius and this interesting staff looking thing, which also happens to be a statue outside of Brassius's gym. And the Riddler posts, shame, they hid the starter Evo billboard in this scene. It's still too soon for you guys to witness. I think this can be interpreted in one of 2 different ways. One way is that they hid it as in like it's hidden in the picture, so maybe it has something to do with the staff that Brassius is facing. Or the other way is you interpret it as if these were rotating billboards, so they didn't show that billboard. They took it out of the sequence or made sure that the shots that they showed didn't have that billboard actually being shown. So there was a billboard that showed Sprigatito as an FYI, but I don't think that was relevant here. There was nothing special about it that I could tell. So the 2 instances are that this staff thing is relevant to this magician type staff wielding Sprigatito evolution that we're expecting to see, or again, the billboard just simply wasn't shown here, but I thought it was worth mentioning. On to the next thing, there was a little conversation that took place of Smoliv's Evolution. It's apparently humanoid and has branches as its arms. It's neutral, it's not quite waifu or husbando. It's lame for me, it's just another plant humanoid Pokemon. So I personally don't have an issue with that. I think it's probably gonna fall more in the lines of like a Maractus kind of thing, as opposed to being more like a Roserade or a like a Lilligant, like a Hisuian Lilligant. It's gonna be, you know, more towards the humanoid side of things, but it's not gonna be leaning in any particular gender. It's just gonna be a plant. Someone does ask the Riddler, who is the most feminine out of all the starter evolutions? And they actually don't respond to that, but they do indicate that the hammer Pokemon, this like fairy hammer Pokemon, is a female only Pokemon, and that one's gonna be the most feminine of all the Pokemon. And we know that one of the Elite Four members apparently has this. I guess it's steel and fairy type is what we're expecting, kind of like Mawile, but I know it's fairy, I'm not positive on that. Before I tell you guys about the other things that the Riddler said regarding paradox forms and kind of the recent theory around that, I want to let you know that we just launched some brand new shirts at teamshiny.com. You guys can pick up Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre, and many, many more to deck out your closet to get ready for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So be sure to check it out at teamshiny.com and use code FALL to get 15% off. If you pick up 3 t-shirts or more, you'll look awesome in it, I promise. When I saw the Riddler posting about Smoliv, I decided to tweet at him and say, hey, you got any fun info about the bug Pokemon? With the little eye emoji that I like to use. And the Riddler actually responded and said, my favorite paradox is Future Moth, though she is not bug type now. And we believe that to obviously be a reference to Paradox Volcarona, which is apparently going to get a Paradox form in both Scarlet and Violet. So the Violet Volcarona Paradox form is apparently going to be really, really dope. And I'm actually quite excited about that because I'm Team Violet myself. But it's not going to be a bug type anymore. The thought is that it's going to keep its fire typing and its secondary type is going to change. The belief right now is that it's going to be poison as its secondary type. We don't know for sure, but we believe it's going to tie in with Salazzle's typing and be fire and poison. So something to look forward to. Again, we don't have any super cool concrete info on the bug types other than there's going to be some new ones, but we do apparently know, at least from the Riddler's perspective, that Paradox Volcarona for Violet is going to be pretty awesome. So it's the next day after I recorded that, and I have to add this in. The Riddler posts, bug fans, attention please. You can get all new bug Pokemon on early routes. So I feel like they tweeted this for me, man. I did tweet at the Riddler yesterday asking for some insight on bug type Pokemon. And then he drops this the next day. I appreciate you, Riddler Coup. So this is really awesome, right? So if you guys have been following the channel for a long time, you guys know I generally go into these games with bug-only playthroughs, man. I have a track record of it. X and Y, before I was even a YouTuber for Pokemon, I was doing it. Then I did it in every game. ORAS, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon I skipped because I did Ghost instead, but that's neither here nor there. I've done it all, you know, Galar, we did the bug run. So this is big news for me, being able to get access to all of the bug Pokemon in the early game. We know of like 3 or 4 different bug lines, so I'm excited about this, and hopefully they show a bug Pokemon in the trailers soon. And the other day we talked pretty extensively about the different Paradox forms and what that can kind of mean, and Soul Silver has a really interesting post that he breaks down from a handful of different people like Jordan. Anyway, long story short on this, the idea is that we're breaking it down on what Paradox could actually be. Is it time travel, parallel world, coincidence, or imagination? All per the Riddler's kind of poll. It's going to be one of those. And Soul Silver and others are starting to think that it probably falls into the world of imagination, and that kind of ties in with some of the stuff that the Riddler has posted. And there's a thought right now that it's possible that Arven is the dreamer. Arven is someone who's imagining these Paradox Pokemon into existence, right? Or maybe it's Clavel, or maybe it's you, the player, whose imaginations come to life. But that's probably what Paradox Pokemon are at least tied to. It seems as though they're tied to somebody's imagination. And it's almost coincidental or potentially very much so intentional that if you didn't see Ed Sheeran's song Celestial, there's like a music video for it where he's got like Pokemon kind of animated all around him. You know, that could have kind of a tie-in, right? He's imagining these Pokemon all around him in like his real world. And he's almost like imagining himself like being carried by Charizard. And like, it's a really cool music video, by the way. I actually really liked it, surprisingly. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. It's worth a watch, so check it out. So, you know, there's some tie-ins there. So maybe after all, that's kind of where Paradox is coming from. It's going to be based on someone's imagination, and we're going to get these crazy new forms. So exciting stuff in the Paradox space, and exciting stuff in general coming for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So I'll be real, I'm really looking forward to the next reveal for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet because the most recent one didn't exactly get me super excited. Bellibolt's not my favorite, but I can see why people like it. It's squishy, it's cute, it's different. Definitely reminds me of a Gen 1 Pokemon, and it looked way better in-game than kind of the animation they did before that. Just my personal opinion. But a lot to be excited about in terms of the world of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and don't forget to check out Team Shiny to pick up some of our brand new merch that we dropped there at teamshiny.com. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.